Welcome to the Health Collective, your go-to source for all things health and wellness. We bring you a wealth of knowledge, debunking myths, and guiding you through the maze of health information that's out there. Today, we're peeling back the layers on a topic that might surprise you. We all know that raw foods can pack a punch when it comes to nutrients, boasting vibrant flavors and textures. But did you know that not every food is meant to be consumed raw? That's right. While many foods are health powerhouses in their raw state, others can potentially be harmful, even dangerous, when not properly cooked. So, we're taking you on a journey to discover 10 foods that you should never, ever eat raw. So buckle up and get ready for a culinary revelation that could change the way you see your plate. Stay tuned as we dive into the 10 foods you should never eat raw. First on our list is raw kidney beans. Now you might be thinking, beans? Really? But yes, really. Raw kidney beans contain a natural toxin called phytohemagglutinin. This tricky compound has a name as daunting as its potential effects, which can include severe nausea, vomiting, and even diarrhea. But don't worry, kidney beans aren't off the menu entirely. The trick is in the cooking. Properly preparing kidney beans involves soaking them for at least 5 hours and then boiling them for a minimum of 10 minutes. This process effectively neutralizes the phytohemagglutinin, making the beans safe to eat. So next time you're cooking up a chili or preparing a hearty bean salad, remember that raw isn't always better. Take the time to properly cook your kidney beans, ensuring they're safe to eat. Your stomach will thank you. So remember, always cook your kidney beans thoroughly. Next up, raw potatoes. Now you might be thinking, who eats raw potatoes? But it's crucial to understand the risks involved, even if your potato consumption is strictly of the cooked variety. Green potatoes, in particular, harbor a toxic compound called solanine. This naturally occurring chemical is part of the plant's defense mechanism against insects, fungi, and predators. When potatoes are exposed to light, they begin to produce chlorophyll, which turns them green. Along with this green coloration, there's an increase in solanine levels. Consuming high amounts of solanine can lead to nausea, vomiting, and in severe cases, neurological problems, or even death. You can reduce the risk by storing your potatoes in a dark, cool place and cutting away any green areas before cooking. Boiling, baking, or frying potatoes also helps to reduce solanine levels significantly. So remember, when it comes to potatoes, well cooked and not green is the way to go. So ensure your potatoes are well cooked and not green. Thirdly, we have raw milk. Now you might be thinking, but isn't raw milk natural and healthy? Yes, it's true that raw milk can contain beneficial bacteria, but it can also harbor harmful bacteria such as E. coli, salmonella, and listeria. These pathogens can cause serious illness, particularly in individuals with weakened immune systems, the elderly, and children. Pasteurization, a process where milk is heated to a certain temperature for a set period of time, was developed specifically to kill these harmful bacteria. It's an essential safety step that doesn't affect the nutritional value of the milk significantly. In fact, pasteurization can even extend the shelf life of milk. So, while raw milk might seem like a more natural choice, it's not worth the risk of potential illness. So, always opt for pasteurized milk for your safety. Next up, raw chicken. Now, chicken is a staple in many diets worldwide. It's versatile, it's lean, and it's packed with protein. But raw chicken? That's a different story. When chicken isn't cooked to the right temperature, it can harbor harmful bacteria like salmonella and campylobacter. Salmonella can cause fever, diarrhea, and abdominal cramps, and in severe cases, it can even lead to life-threatening complications. Campylobacter, on the other hand, is one of the most common causes of food poisoning. Symptoms can range from cramping and abdominal pain to severe diarrhea. These bacteria are not something you want to mess with. They thrive in raw chicken, but heat can kill them. That's why it's so important to cook your chicken thoroughly. A meat thermometer is a great tool to ensure that your chicken reaches a safe internal temperature. So remember, raw chicken is a no-go. Always ensure your chicken is fully cooked to avoid these risks. Fifth on our list is raw shellfish. Now this might come as a bit of a surprise, especially for those who love their oysters on the half shell or sushi with raw scallops. However, consuming raw shellfish carries a real risk that you might not be aware of. You see, raw shellfish, like oysters, clams, and mussels, can harbor harmful bacteria and viruses. One of the most dangerous is Vibrio vulnificus, a type of bacteria that thrives in warm seawater. Ingesting this bacteria can lead to severe illness and even death in some cases. Other harmful bacteria, like salmonella and E. coli, can also be present in raw shellfish. These risks are significantly reduced when shellfish is thoroughly cooked. The heat from cooking kills off these harmful bacteria, making your seafood meal much safer to consume. So while raw shellfish might be a delicacy for some, it's always safer to stick to the cooked variety. Always cook your shellfish to kill any harmful bacteria. Next, we have raw eggs. Now, raw eggs are a bit of a culinary paradox. They're a key ingredient in many beloved recipes like homemade mayonnaise or a silky chocolate mousse. But they also carry a risk that's important to be aware of: salmonella. This is a type of bacteria that can cause food poisoning, with symptoms ranging from upset stomach to more severe complications. It's found on both the outside and inside of eggs that appear perfectly normal. While it's true that not every egg is contaminated with salmonella, the risk is significant enough to warrant caution. And that's especially true for certain populations, such as the elderly, pregnant women, and those with weakened immune systems. So, how do you get the culinary benefits of eggs without the risk of salmonella? The answer is simple. Always cook your eggs well to avoid this risk. The heat from cooking thoroughly destroys the bacteria, making your eggs safe to eat. 8th on our list is raw cassava. Now, this might come as a surprise to some of you, considering cassava is a staple diet in many countries. However, it's crucial to understand that raw cassava contains compounds called cyanogenic glycosides. These compounds are, in essence, natural toxins which, when consumed raw, can convert into cyanide in the body. Yes, you heard it right. Cyanide, the notorious poison. Consuming raw cassava, especially in large quantities, can lead to cyanide poisoning. The symptoms can range from dizziness and headaches to convulsions, and in severe cases, it could even be fatal. But don't worry, cassava is perfectly safe to eat when cooked. The process of cooking helps to break down these cyanogenic glycosides, neutralizing the cyanide and rendering it harmless. So whether you're baking it, boiling it, or frying it, just make sure your cassava is well cooked before you dig in. Always cook your cassava thoroughly to neutralize these compounds. 9th on our list is raw rhubarb leaves. Now you might be thinking, who eats rhubarb leaves anyway? But it's essential to know that these leaves, when consumed raw, can be quite harmful. The culprit here is a naturally occurring compound known as oxalic acid. Oxalic acid is found in many plants, but it's particularly concentrated in raw rhubarb leaves. Consuming these leaves can lead to a condition called oxalate poisoning, which manifests as a burning sensation in the mouth and throat, nausea, vomiting, and even more severe complications like kidney stones or kidney failure in extreme cases. Now, this doesn't mean you should shy away from rhubarb altogether. The plant stalks are perfectly safe to eat, provided they're cooked properly. Cooking helps to break down the oxalic acid, rendering it harmless. So, while rhubarb can be a delightful addition to your pies and desserts, it's best to stick to the stalks. Remember, only the stalks of rhubarb are safe to eat when cooked. Lastly, we have raw elderberries. Now, elderberries are a popular ingredient in pies and jams, but did you know that consuming them raw can be quite harmful? That's right. Raw elderberries contain cyanide-inducing glycosides, a type of compound that has the potential to cause a multitude of health problems when ingested. Imagine this. You pop a handful of raw elderberries into your mouth. Your body breaks down these glycosides into cyanide, a notorious poison. Suddenly, you're hit with nausea, vomiting, and a rapid heart rate. In extreme situations, this can even lead to a decrease in consciousness or seizures. Quite a nasty surprise from such a small berry, isn't it? But don't worry, there's a simple solution. Just cook your elderberries. Yes, heat is a wonderful thing. It breaks down the harmful glycosides, neutralizing them and rendering them harmless. So remember, always cook your elderberries thoroughly to neutralize these compounds. The world of food is full of surprises, isn't it? That concludes our list of 10 foods you should never eat raw. We've explored the potential dangers of consuming raw kidney beans, which contain harmful toxins that can upset your stomach. We've learned that raw potatoes can contain solanine, a bitter toxin that can cause nausea and other health issues. We've also shed light on the risks of drinking raw milk, which can harbor harmful bacteria. We've underscored the importance of cooking chicken thoroughly to avoid salmonella. We've highlighted the potential hazards of consuming raw shellfish, such as foodborne illnesses. We've navigated through the risks associated with raw eggs, which might carry salmonella. We've discovered that raw cassava can contain toxic compounds. We've discussed the harmful effects of consuming raw rhubarb leaves, which contain oxalic acid. Lastly, we've learned that raw elderberries can lead to nausea and other digestive problems. Remember, your health is your wealth. Don't forget to subscribe to the Health Collective for more health tips and information. Stay healthy.